Welcome back to Sports on Tap, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network. I'm Rob Trump. We have Josh Jeffy here from Studio J, Brunswick, Ohio.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. And we're keeping it real with the Cleveland Indians. They trail 2-0 right now. Corey Kluber on the mound for the Tribe against the Kansas City Royals, who trail the Cleveland Indians by one game.
Mm-hmm.
So a pretty big series.
Mm-hmm.
But the Indians have been playing really well so far this year. And I don't know. I have that feeling this year that this could be the year. The AL Central could be up for grabs. I mean, the Royals are playing good ball, and it seems like they might be getting a little bit stronger. But, if I'm the Indians, you can use still that big bat. There is still potential out there, and I know a lot of people are talking about a Carlos Beltran kind of player. Man, that would be a nice fit. An outfielder who can still hit, puts up the runs.
He does have a no-trade clause, though.
And the Indians are not on
Exactly.
that trade, baby. So, the Indians playing well, have a lot of people going out to the games. I think it's been better. There's no doubt about that. But now, we need to get behind this team and really give them a push the rest of this season and keep playing well.
It all started with a decent month of April and May. For the past couple of years, the Indians have gotten off to a slow start, and they just haven't had enough to come back and get back into it. Well, this year, they've stuck around. They had a pretty decent April. They had a really good May, and then they started off June really well. And they're doing all this without Michael Brantley. And you mentioned it, Rob. They need a big bat. And we're already starting to see articles out there. Will the Indians make a big splash move? Got to give credit. Mike Napoli's come in and played really well. Average isn't that high, but the power numbers are there. He's providing a very solid bat. And even some of the young guys, Tyler Nyquin has done well as being called back up. Francisco Lindor is doing an excellent job. Jason Kipnis is doing decent. So the Indians have been doing a decent job. Rajai Davis has been playing pretty decent.
Yeah, I thought, he's a veteran that has really stepped in and played well in the outfield. Has given you some pretty big home runs and some big hits. Napoli, their averages are not necessarily low. They're kind of in the middle, but they're hitting really well. And Napoli has gotten some impressive home runs when the Indians have needed it. So
I gotta ask you. I know Ed would want me to ask you. We would always talk. He's providing a solid bat. It's what the Indians needed, but the average isn't there. It's kind of the same things our main man Mark Reynolds did, and you had a big problem with that.
Well, Mark Reynolds, I think, was about 200, where Napoli's probably. I think
I'll look it up. I'm looking it up right now.
He was at 238. I think it's higher now.
Yeah.
So if it's at least 250, that's
he's batting 240 right now.
See, that's still better than Mark Reynolds. I mean, Mark Reynolds had 20 home runs, but batted 180. I mean,
all right.
That's
well,
Mark
Reynolds.
Do the averages though. 180. I mean, that's one hit in 5 at bats.
Mark Reynolds currently still in the major leagues. He's with
Really?
the Colorado Rockies. Yeah.
And how's he hitting?
Well, let me look that up. Give me a moment.
But looking at Napoli, he's one of those veterans too, who's a veteran in the clubhouse like Rajai Davis.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Mark Reynolds has played in 58 games this year.
Okay.
195 at bats. He has hit 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. He is batting .297.
Whoa!
Our main man, Mark Reynolds.
Now see what he's worked on is getting a higher batting average, and his home runs are low.
Last year with St. Louis, though, you're correct. He played in 140 games. He had 432 plate appearances. He batted .230.
Still not terrible, but
only 13 home runs, though.
So it seems like he's starting to focus on getting more contact and probably some better at-bats other than swinging for the fences all the time.
Yeah. But at any rate.
You live and you learn.
We'll go back to the Indians, though. Even though Mike Napoli is batting .240, he's provided a nice, solid power bat from the right-hand side of the plate.
Absolutely.
He's a great locker room guy.
And sometimes, that's really important to have good veterans on your team to balance out the young guys who, if the young guys go through funks, I think you have another guy there to talk to and say, you know what, you're all right. It's okay.
And real quick, can we get the Indians training staff to get a nice selection of cups that the Indians players can wear? Not once have I ever heard the term testicular contusion, but 2 players have had them this year, Juan Uribe and Yanni Gomes. And Juan Uribe said, you know what, I didn't get a cup because the training staff didn't have one my size. So, well, there's that.
Let's talk to the training staff and see about that. But you know what? I think it's funny because you would think, I mean, especially at the major league level, there's some pretty hard-hit balls that these professional athletes are going to wear cups. I'm not going to lie. In high school, I played baseball, and I did not wear one, ever. But then again, that's a high school ball and pro ball are on completely different levels.
Did you see Juan Uribe get hit?
I did. And, I'm not going to lie, I kind of had a little chuckle. I mean,
a chuckle.
A little chuckle there because I knew as soon as he hit the ground, that guy wasn't wearing. I mean, honestly, when you play third base, it's called the hot corner for a reason.
Yeah.
And Uribe needs to be, let's just say, protecting himself, and he didn't.
Well, hopefully Juan had enough ice to cool down that hot corner.
He's probably still icing right now, as a matter of fact.
Bag of peas in order.
But that was funny. And
you chuckled though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chuckled at another man's pain.
Yeah,
that's bad karma, my friend.
I feel your pain.
That's bad karma.
But when you
keep Draymond Green away from you,
dude, if I'm the Cavs players, I mean, they all better be wearing cups against the Golden State Warriors because this whole series has been, let's just say, one fun time after another for them. I mean, it's been ridiculous.
Wow, this conversation.
Yeah, it's going offline here, but
off the tracks for sure.
But let's just put it this way: the Indians have had some injuries, but they've been able to overcome them. They have a lot of young, solid talent. Lindor is just impressive, and if you want to see Lindor, he'll actually be at Medina Sports Cards. I believe it's this Saturday.
Really?
I can't remember the times. I think it's like 11 to 1 or something. For a few hours to sign autographs and of that nature. So if you want to see Francisco Lindor, he'll be in Medina, I believe, this Saturday.
Nice.
But he is such a talent. And, I mean, what a great year he's having. He's going to be continually something special. He's very consistent hitting, fielding. You could tell he's having fun. And along with the rest of the Indians, just a young team mixed in with some veterans. And they're having a really good season. The pitching, we haven't even talked about yet. Corey Kluber has been solid. Again, not getting the hitting he necessarily needs, but he's also been giving up some more hits this year, I feel like. Carrasco was injured. He's back. He's been pitching well. The surprise for me, Danny Salazar, I thought, struggled a little bit last year, and he's really having an impressive season. But Josh Tomlin, coming back from
no doubt.
injury.
Had a loss last night. Or he did not have a loss. I'm sorry. He pitched good.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That wasn't his fault. He pitches 7 strong innings. I don't even know if he gave up a run. The Indians were up, I think, 1-0?
No, I think they were up 2-1.
They were up 2-1, and the bullpen pretty much blew that game and gave up, I believe, a 2-run homer.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah, and
he's got over 5 ERA this year. Not doing so well.
Well, and he's got to be able to locate his pitches. A lot of his pitches, they want one location. They're finding the plate. And in the pros, you find the plate, you're pretty much done for. It's going to be hit pretty hard.
Here you go. Here's a stat line. We just talked about Francisco Lindor. In 161 career games, he is batting .308 for the Indians with 195 hits, 84 RBIs, and 22 steals. Not to mention he had 12 home runs last year, a little bit of pop in his bat. So he's off to a really, really good start in his young career with the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, and he's gonna continue that. I mean, he's just one of those good players. You talked about Yan Gomes a little bit.
Struggling this year.
And, yeah, this year he is struggling. He's still, obviously, a really good catcher behind the plate defensively, throwing out runners, blocking balls of that nature. But, You just got to keep getting him at bats, and he'll eventually get out of it. He's got to get some confidence, and I think the coaching staff has really been working with him on that. But still, the averages is about 170, so not very good for Jan Gomes. They're trying to figure out, how to get him out of that. But, it starts with the little things, mechanics. Got to go back to that and watch film and see what's going on. Am I opening up, or, what am I doing? Is something's up with his swing, and if he gets a little confidence back, I think he'll be okay. But overall, just a great team to watch. It's a lot of fun, and right now they're still trailing 2-0. I believe. What inning does that say? The fifth, I believe.
No, it's only the bottom of the second inning.
Oh, second inning.
Yeah, it's an 8:00 start route there
I thought
in Kansas
it started
City.
later. All right,
They are
earlier,
an hour behind us.
All right, so it's only the second inning, and the Indians still trail 2-0. Although the Royals right now have second and third with 2 outs, so hopefully Kluber can get out of this. He's already at about 30. What does that say? 34 pitches.
Yep.
So he's up there in pitch count. But watching this team is a lot of fun. Progressive Field. They turn it around. They have a lot of different things to see and do at Progressive Field for kids. I know there's some Sundays where kids can run the field. Mm-hmm. There's also kind of an area where kids can play. There's slides and all kinds of fun things for them to do. And then obviously for adults,
the craft beer.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of kids, the Indians now have, and my older daughter Kaylee is a member of this. It's called Tribetown MVPs. It's like a kids club. Great value, $20. And then you go to the game and you get a lot of cool behind-the-scenes stuff. You get $10 loaded on a card they could use at either the gift shop or on food and beverages, a nice soda pop, if you will. So that's pretty cool. And then, Rob, have you had a chance to go to the kids area at Progressive Field?
I have not yet. I have seen it, though. I just haven't gone myself.
It is a great thing. They have a lot of people working there, so you can kind of put your kids in there, let them run around a little bit while you go out. And you can sit there and watch the game. So it's very good. The Indians have done a nice job. It's a great ballpark. Really updated it very nice. Now we just got to continue the winning ways, and that park will get more and more crowded as we continue through the summer.
So what do you think about the Indians at this point in time? Obviously, the Central Division, you have the Tigers, which, it's too bad Sean couldn't be here for this episode to talk a little bit about the Tigers and where they're at, because they started playing okay baseball. But the Indians this year actually found their winning ways against the Tigers. They've been impressive against the Royals and the White Sox. They just can't seem to beat the Twins,
yeah,
who are in the bottom of the Central Division. But would you think in your mind this is a year that is up for grabs in the Central, or do you feel like the Royals are probably going to outlast everyone? They started off a little bit slower. They're a game behind the Indians. If they win tonight, they can tie the Indians for first place. Still, obviously, a lot of baseball left to play. But, the Indians are used to starting slow and finishing strong. Right now, they're still kind of hanging in there. They're obviously in first place and playing pretty good baseball.
Yeah, I agree. And I have to say that I think, yes, this year the AL Central is wide open. And I think the Indians will be right in because of their pitching. If their pitching still continues to improve and gets to the level we all expect it to be at, then they can go a long way. Couple that in with some above average hitting that we haven't really seen lately as far as power numbers go. And if we continue to get solid hitting from the lineup, yes, I think the Indians are right in this thing. But you can't, this Royals team, you can't count them out. Defending World Series champ, back-to-back AL American League champs. Can't count them out. And Detroit, I don't know about Detroit, to be honest with you. Yeah, they're like one of those teams where you think, this is the year they're going to kind of take a step back. Players getting older, but lo and behold, they're right in there. The White Sox, to me, they are a team that makes a lot of moves, whether it's trades or free agents, but they just can't seem to get it together. They started out red hot, the White Sox, and then people were like, "Oh, are they for real? They for real?" And then they've kind of come back to the pack. I think they're around 500 ball club now. But I'm sure with the amount of offense they've had, Todd Frazier and Chris Sale, obviously with their stud pitcher, they could be right in it too. So yeah, I look at it as a 4-team race right now, but the Indians are right in there for sure.
Well, I think when you look at the Tigers, they're a team that will hang around. I just don't know if they can outlast the Royals. And to me, I think it could be between the Indians and Royals battling for first place. My prediction is the Cleveland Indians will make a few moves.
You do.
Possibly before the trade deadline. I think if I'm the Indians, you want to make a trade before the trade deadline because at the trade deadline, you're probably going to have to give up some good prospects. Where if you do it early, there might not be as much competition and other teams that are interested in the big-time players. I think the Indians, this is the year they really need to go out and try to get some players. I think they need a big bat, and I think they need a relief pitcher. And I think there's plenty out there, especially teams like maybe the Yankees who are not having a great season but have some pretty high payroll guys, or some other teams, maybe the Reds, or who knows what other teams that are going to be not vying for a playoff spot. But
Wonder if the Indians could manage to swing a deal, right?
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
And have the old team pay majority of the remaining salary, and the Indians land Ryan Braun.
Wow.
You like it?
I don't even. What's he been doing? Is he in the league?
Yes, he's in the league, Ryan Braun. Give me
a
sec.
I know he used roids, right?
Yeah, well, but so did Marlon Byrd, and
yeah, I know. He even said he's probably done.
Yeah. Let me see. Ryan Braun, there is some rumors about him going to San Francisco, I saw, although they say it's not likely. Dodgers is another team that got brought up.
I wouldn't mind it.
Let's look at his stats.
All right, let's look. And right now, to give you an update on the Indians, Michael Martinez with a bunt single. The Royals threw the ball away, and he took second base. Now with one out, Michael Martinez at second base. The Indians have a runner in scoring position.
Ryan Braun has played in 54 games thus far.
54 games.
226 plate appearances. He is batting .307.
Whoa!
11 home runs, 36 RBIs.
Interesting.
But he's got a very big contract. I believe he's got 3 or 4 years left on his contract.
How much per year?
Let me see.
15?
Contract status. He is signed through 2020. 5 years, $105 million.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's a lot of money left on his deal.
Yikes. Yeah, to me, I just don't know if the Indians would do that.
No.
But I'll tell you right now, if you look at a guy like Carlos Beltran, he makes a lot of money, but I believe it's probably only through this year. You'd kind of rent a Carlos Beltran.
Well, that's fine. Let's look up Carlos Beltran's stats while we're at it, Rob.
Now, 1-1 count. Raji Davis up to bat with Michael Martinez on second. 1 out. 2-0 Royals over the Indians. And what a heads-up play by Michael Martinez to throw down one of those bunts, drag bunts to the right side. And Raji Davis right now just swinging away at anything. And it's 1-2.
Yep, this is Carlos Beltran is signed through this year.
Okay.
He's 39 years old.
Yep.
And he is played in 62 games this year. He's batting .277 with 16 home runs and 44 RBIs.
I'd take it.
Yeah, that'd be a nice guy.
What's his contract, though? Is he I thought he was about $14 million a year, maybe?
Yeah, 3 years, $45 million he signed, so it's $14 to $16 million a year. But a deal like that, the Indians only have to pay half that.
Yeah, you can talk to the Yankees about picking up half.
Right,
and,
for sure. They're actually picking up most of it for the deal. It's just a matter of what the Indians want to give up. But we'll have to wait and see. The trade deadline is the end of July. So we have some time for that.
And I hope they make a move before that.
Yeah.
But let's wait and see. The Indians in first place right now.
They are. Hopefully they keep it that way.
Hopefully they keep it. The AL Central up for grabs. The Indians in first place. Go out and see this team. They're a lot of fun. They need your support. Cavaliers season starting to wind down.
Go Tribe. Go Tribe. Go Cavs. All in 216, baby.
That's right. All in on Cleveland sports, folks. We're Sports on Tap, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network. I'm Rob Troutman for Josh Jeffy from Studio J in Brunswick, Ohio. Have a great weekend. It's only Wednesday, but still have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day, because we won't talk to you before then. Head up to Z's Cream and Bean. We'll be up there pretty soon.
Couple weeks.
Couple of weeks. So go on up there and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, at SOT Podcast, Sports on Tap Podcast at gmail.com,
Nice.
iTunes, NEOSportsInsiders.com.
Get it.
We're Sports on Tap. See you later.
For the best coverage of Cavs, Indians, and Browns, check out NEOSportsInsiders.com. NEOSportsInsiders.com brings you breaking news, opinions, and video from all things related to your favorite Cleveland sports teams. Like us on Facebook and follow at NEO Sports Insiders on Twitter for live updates from all the games. NEOSportsInsiders.com, bringing you the best in Northeast Ohio sports coverage.
Can't wait for the next Sports on Tap podcast to drop? Then stay connected with us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter at SOT Podcast and like our page at Facebook.com/SOT Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Sports on Tap on YouTube and iTunes and email us at sportsontappodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out Josh Jeffy's six-pack of random and our full show archives on NEOSportsInsiders.com. Sports on Tap is your source for local high school sports talk in Northeast Ohio. Hear from your favorite teams, coaches, and players, and stay up to date with all the high school action no matter the season. Catch Sports on Tap live on Mixlr or find past shows archived on NEOSportsInsiders.com, SportsOnTapPodcast.podomatic.com, and on iTunes and YouTube. Sports on Tap, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network. Join Sports on Tap for live broadcasts at Z's Cream and Bean on the first Thursday of every month from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Come see the faces behind the voices you hear on the podcast and hear from local athletes and coaches about their teams, seasons, and conferences. Enjoy delicious ice cream and milkshakes and join in on the fun at Z's Cream and Bean, 2706 Boston Road in Hinckley. The Sports on Tap podcast, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network.